Oh my God. Wait, I think I'm recording. Ah! Hello. Welcome to my podcast. Listen, no one asked for it, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. Okay, guys, welcome to the Scared of Sugar podcast. This is so exciting. I'm so excited. This is my little setup. Welcome to my living room. I'm currently here in Fulham, London. It's very cute. It's very rainy outside. I kind of love it. I'm not going to lie. I kind of love that it's a bit rainy. It's very cute. But I miss the summer. Summer has just passed. I'm sad. I hope she comes back soon. I miss her. I'm a summer gal. Like, I'm not. I don't really feel like I'm built for this kind of weather. Like the autumn, the cold. Like, I honestly, if I had it completely my way, I would have like 2 weeks of it being fucking freezing and it like snowing, and then have the rest be like 35 degrees. Yeah. So basically what I'm trying to say is I need to move to a hot country and basically go on holiday. Go on a cute little winter holiday. Just so I can have like 2 weeks where I can wear my fur coat and live that fantasy. Anyway, I digress. This is so exciting. I want to start every podcast off with some updates from this week. And this week has been nuts. Guys, my toilet paper got stolen. My family got into a car crash. And yesterday, a bird flew, like nose dived onto my balcony and died. Now, if you know me, you know how terrified I am of birds. Like, petrified. Like, I am horrifically afraid of birds. Like, it's probably my worst fear. And I'm even more scared of dead birds. Like, dead birds are my number one fear versus live birds. Like, I cannot tell you the way that I screamed, the way that I ran up, and I was sat on my balcony with my friends, and I pushed them aside, and I let out like the most blood curdling, nasty scream. I ran into the house. I almost threw up. I almost started crying, and my legs were shaking like I thought I was gonna faint. I was so unwell. Basically, we were just sat outside having a little drink, and all of a sudden this pigeon like it kind of just like no, even me talking about it, like my ears, like every time I say it, even like I don't know, like my ears like go a bit deaf. Like that's how like how much I can't stand it. um this pigeon like flew, it was flying really low, and it was just obvious. It wasn't really like, and then it wasn't on a good trajectory, and then it just like went like vroom, like that, like right above the table, and it like fell onto the floor right next to me, and its wings were just like that, and that oh my God, and I screamed. That's when I started screaming and running like an idiot, and I locked everyone on the balcony. And then everyone was, all my friends always love to make fun of me, like, oh, Max, you're afraid of birds. Oh, he's scared of birds. Yeah. Bitch, this time everyone was not living for it, okay? Like, I locked everyone on the balcony because they know I'm scared of birds. I thought they're gonna love this one. They're gonna eat this one the fuck up, and they're gonna run in with this dead bird. And God help me, so I that's it. Like I'm gonna go casket shopping right now. Like that's me dead. Like put me in the ground, khalas. Like I'm done. But I said, wait, I'm gonna lock you motherfuckers out. So I locked the door to the house so I'd locked them on the balcony, and then in a strange turn of events, I hear my friend Queva go, Max, let me in, let me in, let me in. She was like screaming, and I was like, so I'm not the only one. All you motherfuckers pretended to be so brave when it came to birds, but now I'm not the only one who's not laughing. You're not laughing either. Okay, so there we go. Point proven. Anyway, and then the bird passed away, and we called the animal rescue in London. Clearly, they had other business to attend to because they didn't show up. So we had to put the bird somewhere. I don't know where it is. I don't want to know. I wanted no further information. What was also highly disturbing is that we were having chicken for dinner. So it was just, honestly, guys, I actually feel sick. Okay, next topic, I need to move on because I can't. Just roll the intro now. Roll the intro. Welcome to the Scared of Sugar podcast. This one's called Scared of Myself because I'm going to be talking a little bit about myself. This is going to be like the intro episode. Okay, guys. I hope you like my little weekly update. It was a bit crazy. But first, I'm going to start off with my name. I assume no one's going to watch this, but I don't want to manifest that. So I'm going to say a lot of people are going to watch that. And in that case, my name is Maximilian. Okay? No, it's not Maximilian. My mom did put 2 A's before the N. Yes, it's on my passport. There's 2 A's before the motherfucking N. I'm not Maximilian. Oh, Maximilian, you're right. No, it's Maximilian. Okay, there's 2 A's. Get it the fuck right. So my name is Maximilian. And before you ask, where are you from? What's your accent? I'm not American. I went to an international school, hence why I have this melting pot of accents that don't really make sense. But honestly, it's kind of like, it's really annoying because every time I walk into a social setting in the UK, they're always like almost offended that I sound American. And they're like, oh, babe, are you American, darling? Are you American? Are you American, darling? No. I'm not fucking American. I'm not American, like, do you know what I mean? I'm not American. I'm just Mr. Worldwide. No, I'm joking. I grew up in Asia and I went to international schools. That's why I sound American. Or like, I don't even know if I sound that American anymore. Like when I sometimes I do speak to some of my friends who like are actually American and they say I've got a bit of a British accent. So I don't know. Honestly, I think it's all over the place, but just fucking deal with it. Like, honestly, hi. I've lived in London for the past 6 years. I'm a West London gal. I love it. I love that, you know, like you could step out in like an East outfit, like an East London outfit, and you're like kind of one of the only ones doing it. So it's kind of like, it's almost more special. Whereas when you're in East London, it's like you're competing. Here, you don't even need to compete. You already won. And I love that. Me and my friends love that. So like, I'm going to be here for a little while longer. But I love living west for now. I work part-time at a furniture store in Chelsea, which is super easy for me because I just get on my bike, on my little Lime bike. Come rain, come shine, come snow, I'm on my Lime bike. And I'm going to make an episode about my Lime bike experience in London because it's nuts. I love Lime biking, but the roads are so political. Like, it's crazy. I need to make a podcast episode on this. The amount of times I've almost died, the amount of times I've like screamed at people, the amount of times I've been screamed at, like, you need to know everything. It's hilarious. But basically, what do? So I am a musician. I make music. I sing, I produce, I write for myself and other people. I've been doing that for a while. And then I also am a photographer. So I do photography. And then I also do photography, and I'm a creative director, freelance for people in the music industry, sometimes in the fashion industry. So I'm just a little creative mosquito. Do you know what I mean? I'm like here, there, everywhere, doing random shit. A little bit of creative hustler, which I love it. It's so fun. And yeah. That's what I do. That's why I'm here in London. I think I've got like a couple years left to me in London. Like, I love it. But I feel like I always just think of living in London as like being in a relationship with like a toxic ex. Like, you know, you either, when you're here, you hate it. And when you're not here, you want to be here. It's like you can't really win. But I think after 6 years, I think I've run my course. So I'm here for a couple more years, and then I'm going to move back to Asia, I think. I'm really excited. I'm really excited. I can't wait to leave behind this fucking ugly weather. I wish, honestly, if summer was every day in London, like the whole year, it would be gorgeous. Like a European London summer. I know it's hot, but if we got some ACs, guys, honestly, trust, London would be it. Like, it would really would be it. Like, it would be giving, for real. I think that's the vibe. I think that's the future path that we need to go down as a collective of Londoners. We need to go down that. Why have I decided to make this podcast? I don't know. I've got a big mouth, okay? I talk a lot. And it's gotten me into trouble sometimes. So I thought, why not put it to some good use? obviously here. This is a good use of my time. But no, I'm really excited. I kind of want this to be like a diary of my life. Like I want to be 50 years old and look back and be like, just reminisce, sit in my fur coat in Italy with a cigarette on a balcony, just recovering from my second facelift and just be like, oh, do you remember that time in 2024 when a bird nose dived on my balcony and almost died and it almost killed me? Yeah, that's what I really want to reminisce about. And so I think I'm really excited about that. I call this Scared of Sugar because I have a lot of irrational fears. Obviously, birds being a huge part, like a huge, huge irrational fear of mine. Very big irrational fear. But, and sometimes, I don't know if you guys, like, if you're anxious, sometimes, like, your fears really get in the way of living your best fucking life. Like, get in the way of having like the sweet life, having like, just it being super sweet. So that's why I called it Scared of Sugar, because sometimes I feel like my fears are blocking me from living the sweetest life I could live. But not anymore, because this podcast is going to be my exposure therapy. I'm going to talk to you guys about the stupid fears I have, and we're going to laugh at me, and I'm going to laugh at myself, and we're going to get over it, and we're going to, camaraderie. Come right on me. What? No. Sabrina. So yeah, that's why it's called Scared of Sugar. I hope you guys like the little intro with the little sugar cubes spelling out SOS. Obviously SOS emergency, when you're having like panic attack or when you're anxious. SOS, like help me. So yeah, anyways, I wanted to go through some of my most irrational fears with you guys. I compiled a little list. I asked some of my friends as well, like what they can remember that are some of my most irrational fears. So I'm gonna like briefly talk them through with you. And I think I'm gonna probably end up making a podcast episode on every one of these because it's fucking jokes. So I'm gonna start from like least worst and then end with most worst. That is like really probably very incorrect English, but I don't give a fuck. Deal with it. So my least worst fear. No, sorry, not least worst. My most irrational. Yes, my most irrational to most rational. Because I just saw on my list here it says dead birds, and like that is one of my worst fears, but it's definitely probably my most irrational. Yeah. So my worst fear, most irrational fears, is probably dead birds and birds as well, specifically chickens. Like I cannot stand chickens. Like one time I was a kid and I was in like in a garden shop and they had like chickens in cages, but I didn't see them. So I was like with my mom, like, oh my God, look at these lilies. And then I looked behind me and there were these chickens and I screamed so loud, so fucking loud that like all the garden shop people like came running thinking that like I had something, like I'd been shot or something. Like I ran through this store screaming, and I wasn't even that young. I was probably like 14. Like I was like I should not have, like it was a bit abnormal to see me running around this garden shop. My mom was obviously bent over, like could not stop laughing. But it was really embarrassing. Anyway, and then another one of my most irrational fears is color temperature. Like I really cannot deal with like white lights. Like, do you know what I mean? Like when a house in a living room or like anywhere in the house, there's like bright white daylight bulbs, like the color temperature. I cannot fucking stand it. Like, why would I want to live in a factory? Like, I don't get it. Or like even overhead lighting. Like sometimes I'm so sorry. I don't want to come for the Americans, but like when I see like YouTube videos or when I see videos generally like filmed in American houses, you guys have so many built-in like big circular overhead lighting that's usually white, and I'm like, why do you want to illuminate your house like that? Like it's horrible. Like it literally feels so cold and unwelcoming to me. Like I want warm white lighting, like cozy, no overhead lighting. Very cute, very, very like, You know what I mean? Like I want to sometimes feel like I'm in a low lit dingy bar, but it just feels cozy. Like I feel like I'm getting like I feel it's just so much nicer. Yeah. Oh my god, another one of my most rational fears. Number 3, chocolate orange or like chocolate mint. Sorry, but what the fuck is that? Like, why are you like? I know the English people love chocolate orange, like, and I understand that this probably won't land with a lot of people, but like, I cannot fathom why does chocolate need to be combined with fruit? Why can't we just leave her alone? She's a delicacy on her own, okay? We don't need her with orange jizz. Okay? No one asked for it. I certainly didn't ask for it. So why are we doing it? It's disgusting. Terry chocolate orange. What the fuck is that? And okay, like I understand I have to be sensitive here because the English people really fucking like chocolate orange. Okay. But chocolate mint? Why are we torturing ourselves? Like, why are we doing that? I can think of like honestly, I literally like I no. Another irrational fear of mine is British people saying, "You're right," and it's like when I first moved here, I was so confused when I would like walk down the hallway and they'd be like, "You're right," and I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm so good. Thank you so much for asking. How are you?" Because I thought they were asking me how I was, and it took me like it took me a good 2 years to like fully understand that they're not asking me how I am. In fact, they actually don't give a fuck because they're walking straight past you and they don't actually give a shit. Okay, they're just like they're just saying hi, but it doesn't make sense in the English language to go "you're right, darling," and then to walk off. Like, I thought you wanted to start a conversation with me because if you don't want to start a conversation with me, then why don't you just say hello? Like, hello is it's a perfectly acceptable word that you can use to greet someone in the English language. We don't need to be saying, "Oh, you all right?" Because I am all right. And if you really want to ask me how I'm doing, I'm okay. I'm holding on. Seriously. So yeah, that scared me a lot. Like that gave me a lot of confusion, a lot of upset, and I'm still working on recovering from that. Now we're moving into some more serious, although still very rational. But I think like all anxiety is irrational. Like let's be for real. But some more serious fears. I am horribly afraid of the tube. Like I have lived here for 6 years, and I've only been on the tube once. Sorry, I gave you a second to laugh. I've only been on the tube once. It's fucking not okay. I cycle everywhere, or I take the bus, or I Uber. But I get around. I do get around still, or I drive. I can rent a car and drive with my car club. Like I'm so petrified of the tube. I grew up in Singapore where like the MRT is so nice. They've got those like glass gates everywhere. It's super clean. It's super quiet. It's super safe. It's like also like, it's very quiet. Like it's AC. You have like for service for your phone. Which I landed in London 6 years ago when my parents dropped me off to go to uni. We went on the tube together, and I had the biggest panic attack of my life. It was horrible. I was like, what the hell is this? It was like dingy, like dark. I was in this claustrophobic tunnel. Honestly, I can't even think about it. It makes me feel upset. But I will have a podcast episode about this one day. And we'll talk about my modes of transport in London. That would be, it sounds boring, but I'll give you guys some hilarious stories. Okay. Quiva's bedtime bun. My housemate Quiva, her bedtime bun is honestly dangerous. Like genuinely, it's lethal. It makes me howl every single time. It's so funny. So yeah, I'll insert a photo right here. If you're not watching on YouTube, she basically ties her hair into this like really like phallic looking bun that kind of like sticks to the front of her forehead, and it's not even at the back. Like it always purposely is like hanging on the front of her forehead, and I'm like, why? Like, no one is doing this. Like, not even in the Capitol and the Hunger Games are they doing this, sweetheart. This is like something that you think is socially acceptable, but actually I find it quite offensive. If Quiva's watching, she'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Oh yeah, lifts. I hate lifts. As you can probably guess, I'm claustrophobic. Ah, oh my God, the crowd goes wild. Yes, I'm claustrophobic. I hate tunnels. Like, hate lifts. Don't like it. Oh my God, I used to be emetophobic. So I used to be really scared of throwing up. Like, I used to not go to class and stuff. It was really bad because I was really scared of throwing up. I'll make a full episode on that because that one is probably one of my most irrational ones. And probably one of my ones where like I really committed to like being terrified of not throwing up. Sorry, of being terrified of throwing up. Like I committed. Like I was terrified. Then probably my most like rational and like, oh Max. It's like I'm really scared of being alone. I'm really scared of being alone. Like I hate being alone in the house. Sometimes I hate going alone, like walking down the street. Sometimes I hate going alone, like being alone while grocery shopping. Like I love people. And sometimes like I really hate being alone. But I think that comes from my separation anxiety from when I was a kid. It was hilarious. Like I used to scream and cry when my mom used to drop me off at school. Used to be like, no, like don't let me, don't let me down. I said, don't leave me here. And then the school counselor at a certain point, the school counselor had to like drag me away from my mom, like on the playground. She was like, we need to go in. And then she would drag me into the school. And then my mom would be like standing there waving at me. And I'd just be dragged into school, which was hilarious when come to think of it. And then like I'd be taken into her room, into like the counselor room, and one time I went back home to my mom and I said, Mama, her room, honestly, IKEA. The whole thing was full of IKEA, and my mom like could not stop laughing. Obviously I love IKEA. Everything in my house is IKEA, so obviously no shade to IKEA, but in that time, it was like the nasty wood IKEA. It was like everything was like probably they just tried like the school just furnished her room, and did all that IKEA for ease and convenience, which obviously there's nothing wrong with, but that was like my takeaway from being escorted by the school counselor away from my mom. That like her room was filled with IKEA furniture. Like what the fuck is wrong with me? Anyway. So I want to conclude. I know this is like a short episode, but I just wanted to make a little intro episode. Next episode, I have got a really juicy one for you. I'm so excited. That might even be a 2-part because let me tell you, it's gonna be juice, juicy. So my favorite of the week this week, my favorite of the week, I think is Barbara. My housemate Barbara, my friend Barbara, love you so much. You got rid of that bird on my balcony, and honestly, you saved my life. If you weren't there, I would have probably died. Quiva would have also died because she pretended to be braver than she was, but she actually came running in, like was banging on the door to let me back in, for me to let her back in the house. You saved the day, girl, and for that, you are my favorite of the week. But today I'm going to give you a double favorite of the week. My other favorite of the week is Bossa Nova. Okay, I made an 8-hour playlist of Bossa Nova the other day because I thought, we're transitioning into autumn. I'm going to savor every ray of sunshine. Yeah, every single rain of sunshine. I'm going to savor. And as soon as I do feel the rays of solar light upon my skin, I will be playing bossa nova because like I feel like music hits differently depending where you are. So that's what you're doing. Like Peggy Goo does not hit on a mountain in Tajikistan. Peggy Goo hits when you're in Bali at a beach club. Bossa Nova isn't really going to hit this winter. So yeah, I want to savor up every last bossa nova tune I'm gonna get this summer because it's gonna be a bit sad once summer is gone. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of my favorites this week. I'm really excited. I'm gonna try and post every Tuesday because then I can say, "See you next Tuesday." I think that would be funny. Okay. But thank you so much for watching this first episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, laughed a little bit. Um, Next episode, brace yourself. It's gonna be crazy. But thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.